My name is Naveen Rajadaksha. I am a junior in industrial design here at the University of Illinois. In fall of 2013, I did a study abroad exchange at the National University of Singapore. I was there for 5 months, and during that time I traveled to 8 different countries. I think the experience that I had overseas, I think I learned more in probably 5 months of study abroad than I did in the past 15 years of traditional education. When you study abroad, you have the opportunity to be exposed to a lot of different cultures, different experiences that many of my peers haven't had the opportunity to have. And I believe that that's something that you can't be taught at a traditional four-year university without leaving it. Just recently, actually, I just went to Europe for 2 weeks and backpacked across Europe briefly, and I think the process of traveling and human interaction with other people, you learn so much more from that than I believe than sitting down in a classroom and being lectured to for hours on end. So one of my favorite places that I went to when I studied abroad was Myanmar. Myanmar has actually only been open to public tourism for the last 5 years. And me, along with my 2 friends who I studied abroad with, had the opportunity to fly over there. And normally when you walk through the streets of a very touristy place, you're taking pictures, you're so enthralled with everything that's around you, right? But in Myanmar, we were the spectacle because they're not used to having tourism. Westerners are so new to them that they were confused at times when we were speaking English, or for instance, I spoke Spanish to somebody and it was probably the guy didn't understand what language I was speaking, and not that he didn't understand Spanish, it was that he wasn't aware that there were other languages besides English and Burmese. Another really great thing we did is we had the opportunity to live with a family for a couple days in the mountains of Inle Lake, and we trekked up the mountains and we stayed in a bamboo hut that had no electricity. We didn't speak a lick of Burmese, they didn't speak English, but somehow we were able to interact, and as designers, we really focused in on human interaction. It was really cool to see how 2 groups of people, completely independent of each other, have the ability to communicate without language, and we could still convey our emotions and our gratifications for the family, and vice versa.
I think the possibility of meeting new people and trying new things are both incredibly appealing to me. And connecting with others who are completely different from me, who came from a different background and who believe in different things, are all unique experiences are so beneficial. And learning from others who have lived in a different way than you've ever experienced can teach you things no textbook or professor can. And learning about others and their culture are some of the most fascinating experiences I've ever had. And I'm also an adventurous person, so the excitement of trying something new, whether cruising, exploring a new place, or learning about a different country, has always had a special pull on me. So throughout my travel experiences, good and bad, chances of having to learn about myself are undoubtedly important to who I am now. So every place I've visited and every person I've met have had an impact on the way I view the world and all those around me. And travel experience isn't something you can just go out and buy or just hear about in your classroom. You have to do it for yourself. So you have to put yourself in those situations in order to learn from them. Even if it may be uncomfortable and terrifying at first, I have never once regretted a trip or travel experiences, which is why I think I will continue to travel for the rest of my life. Okay, so saying the wrong thing or taking the wrong turn is not the end of the world. It just teaches you. And the more you learn from traveling, the easier it gets.
I've been traveled to a lot of countries. It was a really fantastic travel experience. I think travel really opened up my eyes when I can be in the actual space instead of like my friends, which are sitting in the classroom, and I happen to learn more things than they do, especially because I'm an architecture student, so I happen to go to different buildings in person and at the same time touch the building in reality and feel the texture of the building, feel the atmosphere, the sound, the air inside the space, and that's a really great experience. I also remember a time when I was a square in Lille in France. I was sitting there sketching around and there's cars, buses coming and going, there's pedestrians walking around with their children, with their pets, and there's also this musician playing accordion next to me. So it really built out an environment that is very cozy and comfortable, and in that way I can learn about the city, the people, and how people's life are around there, and how it's really an interesting experience to be in the actual space. In general, I think traveling around the world really gives you an opportunity to see the world from different perspectives, to see it from other people's eyes and like learn other people's stories. So it's like opening a book about this world and read all these stuff you have never had a chance to get to know, and it really helps you to have more understanding around about. It really helps you to have this understanding about the world, about people, and it tells you not to judge people too quickly, and it helps you to form new ideas, inspires you. In any way, traveling is great.